Look, we all knew they were going to suck us back in. It was the most predictable outcome to drag us to 7 and then break our hearts when we got there. But at the end of the day, when you look at this team, you look how tonight went, you look at the entire experience of all of this, this was the most likely outcome for this group in a Game 7 that mattered most. The biggest moment of their careers, of Leafs fans' lives in the last 23 years, however you want to put it. And they let us down here tonight, but they didn't just let us down. They didn't just lose. They lost in an embarrassing way. A lack of heart, a lack of grit, a lack of pushback, and a lack of effort. A lot of people thought, myself included, that the Florida Panthers were probably the better team. They were going to be the tough matchup, especially when it came to a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But to go out the way they did was pathetic, it was embarrassing, and to be quite honest with you, I'm pretty disgusted with what I saw tonight. Rosie had asked me at some point during the game, are you going to go off in the postgame if this ends this way? And I thought, no, I don't think so. I think I'll just be annoyed, upset. I think I'll be disappointed. But the more it went on and on and on, the more frustrated I became with the group and what we saw here tonight. This was a pathetic display from the most important players on the team, and honestly, this was a poetic way for them to finish this season. One where we thought they were close. We thought that they had it, Rosie, and one that we genuinely thought this could be the team. And not only did they say, hey, we don't have it, but they said, we really don't fucking have it. This was an embarrassing effort in Game 7. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I know you were a player, and it probably means something a little bit different to you. And I'm somebody who isn't really the biggest fan of jerseys on the ice, hats on the ice, blah, blah, blah. That fan base had every single right in this game tonight to throw in the towel because they waited longer than the players on the ice to give up in this game here tonight. This was pathetic from this group. After that first period, it was just a complete and utter shutdown by these guys.
Just blows my mind that you watch Game 5 and they're at home and they have a chance to, regain control of the series after having a 2-game lead, and they lay a 6-1 egg.
Yeah.
And everyone's furious. And the people who have been around, which is pretty much everybody, says, you know what's going to happen, right? And it's kind of a joke. It's kind of imagine if. There's a little bit of that to it, but it's, you know what's going to happen, right? They're going to win Game 6 on the road in some gutsy effort where they show that you can hang with the Florida Panthers. And then it's just everyone's going to have time for that to percolate, and inevitably Game 7 at home is going to come back around and everyone's going to say, we have a chance. I fucking did it.
I believed.
I'm as guilty as anybody, and everybody knows that. I try not to yo-yo, but how do you not with this team when they do what they do? I've never seen a bigger disparity in a hockey club, period. Not even NHL. I've never seen a bigger disparity in any team that plays hockey in my life than the Florida Panthers between their good and their bad. And they fucking shit their pants in Game 5 to the point of jerseys on the ice, the building's empty, embarrassment.
Yeah.
Everyone's done. Burn it down. The Marner talk, Shanahan, everything's got to get blown up. Well, at least, and then they go and win Game 6. On the road in Sunrise against those guys where they didn't play terribly. They just weathered some storm and found some way to be a gritty playoff hockey team with a bunch of character. Okay, I mean, shit. Lots of people are, I don't know about that. I'm still not sold. But inevitably, Sunday comes and you wake up and you're like, it's Game 7 with the Leafs, with my team, with all these guys, all these superstars and all the pieces, like 60 minutes. We're back in, like, let's go. And then the first 5 minutes of the game didn't go well. We're like, uh-oh. But then, is that character? Is that character? The last 15 minutes of the first period, like, was there 7 high-end scoring chances? It could have been 2-0 all day. But they don't get that. They just don't get it over the line. And then the second period, they just get fucking shelled in 10 minutes on 3 goals. Oh my God, maybe some Cinderella story for 3 more fucking goals. Embarrassment.
Yeah.
Beers on the ice. Fans are leaving. Like, what? And people are just laughing. My group chat is just like, ripping the fans, ripping the club, ripping the players.
The fans don't deserve to be ripped in this one tonight.
The fans can do whatever they want to do. Whatever they feel right now, you can do that. Feel free. You have been strung along in this market that you bleed for, that you pay for. It is expensive. It is everything that you could ask out of a fan they've given. And I don't know if it's chicken or the egg, if it's hard to win in this fucking city. Obviously it is. I remember that clearly being very difficult to win in this city. Difficult to get momentum, difficult to have confidence, difficult to walk in the building without just being hammered with accusations and questions and doubt. I remember that. But at some point in time, aren't you the professional athlete to get over that? Is some fucking dickhead like me sitting on a stool in a bar gonna make it hard for you to win? Like, at some point they gotta rise up, and I keep thinking it's gonna be today, and then the next time, and then the next year. I keep thinking they're gonna break out, and they give you every reason in the world to think that multiple times through the year, and then it's a 6-1 fucking beating, and I'm embarrassed again that I got back on board. Like, do I have to be the asshole that's always negative, that just never believes in the team? I don't want to be that guy. But when are they gonna give you something more?
The thing is, too, Rosie, like, I told you before, I don't know if it was off air, if it was on the pregame, I don't really remember, but I said to you, I was like, I didn't believe in these guys. And Game 5 kind of, to me, felt like it proved a lot of that right. But then they go to Game 6, and they win Game 6, and they do it convincingly, and they come to Game 7. And we talked about the fact that if they win this game, there's going to be all these people online saying to you, me, Nick, producer Vic, whatever, you guys are idiots, you were wrong, you didn't believe. And I said it then, you said it. Prove us wrong. Because 9 years into this thing, you have given us every reason to believe what you and I did. And then tonight was the perfect encapsulation of everything they are. You mean, like, let me just break this down for you from this standpoint. You talk about that first, like, this game summed up 9 years in one. First period, didn't start on time. How many times do we hear that? You didn't start on time. You find a way through that. Okay, you didn't start on time. You got away with it. Now all of a sudden you're building. You're getting the chances. Well, how many times do we talk about in the playoffs? You can't score. You can't produce. You can't get on the board. You have chance, you can't score. That's another one from the playoffs. Special teams, okay, fine. You got away with it here tonight. You had no fucking power plays. You had the one penalty kill. You killed it off. But then it's like, now go to the second period. Again, didn't start on time. Now let's go from there. What happens? One thing that we have accused these guys of over and over and over again, they score first, you shut down. That first goal went in, and I think everyone in this bar here that we are here at Greta Bar YYZ, basically looked around and without saying it, said it. That's it. Because you could feel the energy not sucked out of the bar. You could feel the energy sucked out of the players on the ice. You could feel it sucked out of the players on the bench. You could feel it gone. And from right then, 1-0, white flag. And that is who they are. In all facets, every storyline you could ever picture or pinpoint or talk about ever. That's who they are, and that's what they did tonight.
It just frustrates me that a team that can be as good as they are, like, does anyone, even right now, does anyone question that we don't have enough talent on that team? Is that a question or no? There's no one alive that's going to say, well, we just don't have enough talent. Well, if you have all the talent in the world, why can't you win a big hockey game?
Yeah.
It's more than that. It just keeps coming back to character for me, man.
Fucking here. It's here and here.
Like when you go through it, like when you do something difficult or go through something hard and some asshole says, well, you're building a lot of character. At least that builds character. Why are they saying that? Because when you go through hard times and you come out the other side of it, you should be able to lean on that and pull from that experience and draw from it and make yourself stronger. And I know that these guys have been through tough times in this jersey, but I question what they've been through in their lives. Are they just spoon-fed fucking prima donnas that have always been told you're the greatest, that have always been stroked, where any roadblock comes in their way and someone fixes it for them, and mommy and daddy say, what do you need today, sweetie? Is that what we're dealing with? Because why the fuck can a group of talented individuals dig deep? Has it just always been the talent and they've never had to develop the character? I question that. I don't want to, because that is like an existential crisis to a hockey team or an individual or a player.
Yeah.
To get called out. Like, I don't want to bring that up, because you're basically saying they don't have a chance in hell, because you don't win a Stanley Cup without having character. And every goddamn time that they can win a game 1 and a 2 and a 6 and a 4 or whatever. But when it comes down to that game 4 win, winning the 4th game, and the game 7 win and the overtime opportunity, it just seems like they're just always I'm just not really willing to do enough to get over the hump. And god damn it, are they talented, because that is the Florida Panthers Stanley Cup champions, back-to-back finals. It's the best team in the world. So they are talented. They do have a lot going for them. People aren't stupid for believing that they could get to the Eastern Conference Finals. People aren't stupid. It's not like their heads are in the clouds and they're completely naive and they're completely out to lunch. That team's got a lot of talent, but you don't get over the hump without the fucking character. And I severely question the character of the individuals that are supposed to carry this team to the promised land, because they've had ample opportunity, and every time they've come up wanting.
Rosie, I'll never forget the conversation that you and I had. I'll never forget the conversation that you and I had after Game 4 against the Bruins last year. And I know there was a lot that was talked about in that, but one of the things was entitlement. You brought it up, and it was a good point, regardless of how you displayed your point. It was a good point about, we're this good, we deserve this. Not we're going to go out and get it. Not we're going to go out and earn it. You know, there was a lot of people from the Leafs Nation chat, people who listen to the podcast, watch the show, whether it's Morning Take, After Dark, who came out to watch the game here with us tonight. And between the second and the third period, I was having a conversation with these two people who came up to me and talked to me about it. And she says to me, what did you make of Marner yelling at the bench, wake the fuck up? And I wasn't really sure because I don't know. Everyone has a different opinion, and I just kind of went, ugh. And she goes, that's the definition of entitlement. And I was like, you know what? I think you're right because, you know, one of the things that I constantly thought about after watching the Amazon Prime doc was McDavid goes in the room in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Florida Panthers, and he's snapping, yelling, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. And I thought to myself, if I went in the room and Connor McDavid was yelling at me, you, whatever, the collection of players, that's not good enough, I would dig down deeper and go, holy fuck, this guy makes whatever amount. He's the best player in the entire world. Not the league, not this team, world. And he is giving everything he has, yelling, that's not good enough. I'm going to fucking find it in me. I'm going to reach in my pants and find my nuts, and I'm going to pull them out there and come out for the next period. Mitch Marner yelling. You can put it on any of the guys, but he's the one who gets caught on camera here tonight. Him yelling. The thing for me is, whether it's him, Matthews, Nylander tonight, Tavares, I don't care, Morgan Riley, one of those guys yells at me, I'm in that room. I mean, obviously I'm fighting through. I'm trying to push back, but I'm going, seriously? Seriously? You're yelling at me to fucking get going? You're yelling at me to pick my feet up and wake the fuck up? You make $10.93 million. You have been a ghost through basically the entire playoffs for 9 fucking years. 9 fucking years. You want $14 million in this offseason. You blocked a trade for Mikko Rantanen, who just finished his series against the Winnipeg Jets, is moving on to the Western Conference Finals, leads the Stanley Cup in points in the playoffs, and he makes $12 million, and you are telling me to wake the fuck up? How about you? How about you? That's what I look at these guys, and I just look at those four, and I say, they will not do what is asked of them, so why the fuck should I do what you're asking of me? And I look at that, and I just think those guys think to themselves, I'm the shit. I'm a god in this city. I'm a god on this team, and I can do whatever the fuck I want, because they no-showed, all four of them, again here in this game tonight, and then you get a camera cut of Marner yelling, wake the fuck up. How about you?
Well, when you think about the McDavid rant, I mean, when he's doing that and you're looking at him, there's only one thing to do, and it's follow him. He's going to do what he's going to do, and all you got to do is hook your fucking strap to that ship and do what he does and follow in his wake, because he's going to lead the way. He's going to lead the charge. And when you look at Marner, it's like, okay, do you want me to stay to the outside and pull up on the half wall and spin off a check and do a bunch of drop passes and try to win a game by seam passing through 3 fucking sticks? Like, do you want me to do that too? Like, when he says wake the fuck up, do you say, well, do you want me to play with your intensity level? Is that what you're asking? Because you got guys that are already playing above his intensity level, but he's supposed to be at the front of the carriage with the whole fucking kit and caboodle strapped to his back, leading the way. And all you need to do is follow a guy like that. That's leadership. He's screaming wake the fuck up, but that means follow me. But if you follow Mitch, I mean, the way he plays in these games isn't winning anyone anything.
Yeah,
it's just not. And I'm beating my head against this fucking desk because we're always saying that. And then there's the people online that defend him and talk about some stupid fucking little play he made in game 3 that means that they're still on board with him. And I seriously question whether that's like his team out there with their fingers on the internet, because how can you keep defending his intensity level and his grit and his character when the guys that lift the cup every year are just beaten down because they don't lay it on the line once or one game or for a shift. They just go for 2 months and just turn their fucking brain off and scream, follow me, and they go, and they don't accept anything else. And I just don't see that in this group. And I'm trying to analyze it as a goddamn guy whose job it is to do so. And I just keep coming up with lack of character. They've been on every special team. They've been on every superstar thing you can be since they were this fucking tall, because that's what the NHL is now. It is hyper-specialized superstar kids from the time they were 6.
Yeah.
They didn't play any other sports. They didn't do anything else. They focused on hockey. Their parents gave them a sports psychologist when they were 8, and they were just hyper machine focused, and you get to the talent level of those guys by being that kid. Great, granted, I give you that. You are specially talented at this game, at the throwing it around and the movement and everything you do. Yeah, but it just so clearly to me takes more than that to win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
It just does. You watch it, and it's like these players rise up and do these special things. You're like, oh my God, look what he's doing. Night after night, series after series, until they're at the end and they get that thing. That's why it's so special. That's why men show up and win the fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because they're real men. And like it or not, it's still a real man's sport. And that's who carries that goddamn thing at the end. And I don't see it ever when the going gets tough out of this group. And that's where we're at.
Look, this is a cheesy thing to say, and I know that it's a cheesy thing to refer to, whatever, but it's very, very true, especially when you watch a game like that. One thing that always stuck with me watching Miracle on Ice, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. How many players, like dead seriously, how many players on the Florida Panthers have as much skill as Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, William Nylander? I'd say none.
They don't have one.
I think all 3 of those guys are the most skilled players on the ice. They were bottom tier of both teams in this game specifically, maybe this series, of effort given, of balls shown, of all of it. Like, they just were. When it mattered the most, they don't have it. It's Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett. Fucking go down the list of guys who just work harder, who want it more, who show up and are more impactful for their teams than those guys are. It's constant. It does not matter how much talent you have if you don't show it.
Who are the biggest standouts in that game when the Leafs were in it? The bottom 6.
Yeah, or in this game here tonight especially.
Was it the most talented guys that were even keeping the Leafs in it? I saw Steven Lorentz all over the screen.
Yeah.
You have so many people, like, those are the guys that you rely on to do those things in these games, and they showed up. But, like, is Steven Lorentz going to win this fucking Game 7 against the Florida Panthers? No, and he's not supposed to. But he was there jumping off the screen to me multiple times, and the Scott Laughtons and but it wasn't Willie. And it wasn't Mitch, and it wasn't Austin, and it wasn't John. No. Like, you build the team around that, and then you run it back. And then you run it back. And then you run it back because you just can't let this talent go. Like, is there even a fucking debate anymore that this isn't how you build a championship-winning team?
There's a lot of shit. Look, we do the post-game show. You and I have joked about it. Oh, we come on and there's no like, it's just go. We come on the show right away. And there's a lot of shit between now and Leafs Morning Take tomorrow that will probably be thought of, will probably come up, mistakes, whatever, problems, all of that. My main issue right now, and the one thing I'm going to harp on over and over and over again, is the dissection of the core 4. I mean, I don't know how anyone can disagree at this point. This is a mandatory, like, bottom line, mandatory. This is the last fucking game you can ever play with those 4 guys wearing the same jersey. I do not care the talent they have. I don't care the numbers they put up in the regular seasons. I don't care the numbers they've had, whether they were born here or not. I do not give a flying fuck. That group of guys has showed you over and over and over again they don't have what it takes to win when it matters. They do not show up. They do not compete. They don't have the balls. And their skill, it fucks off because they don't have the other intangibles when the going gets tough. They just don't have it. If I see that group walk out together for game 1 of next season, that is an admit. I will still be a fan because I have a very hard time waving the flag. But that is an admittance by MLSC, Keith Pelly, all of them, that all they care about is selling jerseys. Because you have to know 9 years into this experiment that those fucking guys do not work together. And I don't give a fuck if you are a Marner supporter, if you're Rocket Security, if you're his dad in the chat. I don't give a fuck if your name is Paul Marner and you're using a burner account right now. Mitch does not deserve to be on this team next year. Not just that this team should not be constructed this way, but he does not deserve to be here. That is the end of this era, and he is going to be the casualty. Willie, for the most part, has been the one that shows up. Mitch has been the worst one of all 4, in my opinion. He's a UFA. At this point, you lose him for nothing, but at the same time, I'm almost spin zoning this. You gain the cap space of having him gone. We'll have that conversation as it goes on more and more in the next couple of days, I know. But right now, Rosie, that has to be the last game we saw those 4 guys together. It has to be. I'm at a breaking point.
It's not even a hot take. They've ran it back so many times. I mean, you do an experiment to the point where you get a conclusion.
That's a big sample size, man. 9 years.
It's a very big sample size.
It's huge.
And I agree with you. And Willie just signed a big ticket. He's not going anywhere. Austin, they just stripped Jonathan Tavares, is he a Hall of Famer? Potentially. He's a fucking lifelong NHL unbelievable player. You strip him of the C and give it to Austin, who's on a big fat contract. He's not going anywhere. JT, you could talk about. I don't think he's taking this huge haircut on a hometown discount when the taxes are the way they hear, with the tax problems he has in his personal life that have come up. That leaves one guy.
I forgot about that.
The CRA's coming at you for $12 million. Yeah, he's going to fucking play for $4 million next year, scoring almost 40. No one would. Not one person listening is going to take a 60% haircut on their salary tomorrow because they like where they live. It's not happening. Yeah. So that's a decision that needs to be made. And it leaves Mitch Marner. The timing of it, the performance of him, the lack of what they need to get over the hump is exactly what he lacks. And it just makes complete sense. It's not a hot take. The Dubas era and everyone buying into this guy, not this guy, this core and these players, and doubling down on them and running it back and giving them all the no-move clauses, which has handcuffed you in the latter years when you may need to make some shake-up changes. It just all boils down to Mitch Marner. And it's like even the legacy media is totally on board with it, talking as if it's a fact that that's going to happen. What are you shaking your head at in this chat?
It's not the chat. This is a quote from Austin Matthews, the captain of the team, who had 2 shots on goal in an elimination Game 7 on home ice. I thought we had too many passengers tonight.
Yeah.
How about you? You're the captain. You make the most money on this team. You're a $13.25 million player.
You're supposed to make sure there's no passengers. You're supposed to invigorate the team. You're supposed to inspire the team. You're supposed to lead the team. You can't be the ghost and then say, we didn't have enough guys going. You're supposed to put your hand up and say, I'm the superstar. I have won Rocket Richard trophies. I have won Hart trophies. I am capable of doing special things, and I didn't even do average things. So it's on me. And that's the end of the interview. But they never say that. And it's almost like they've insulated themselves so much from being real in their interviews and whatnot to protect themselves from the scary outside of this, that they can't even bring themselves to say what they need to say, and they piss off the Leafs nation even more. Like you've already lost. It's already done. Why not just take ownership and at least have some people maybe be like, hell, at least he sees what I see. But he passes the buck.
Say you were fucking too bad tonight. Like, seriously.
Mitch is screaming at everyone, and Austin saying we have too many passengers.
No, like seriously.
Was Steven Lorentz a passenger tonight, and that's your problem, Austin?
No, seriously. That is fucking pathetic from the guy wearing the C for this team. I have sat here and defended that guy as much as humanly possible. And maybe there's more to the quote. Maybe there's more to the context. But again, it's the same shit as Mitch saying they're gods. We all know what they're saying. We all know what they're trying to say. And we get it. But that's bullshit. He's right. There were too many passengers. But you know who else was? You! You know who drove the bus? Max Domi, Steven Lorentz, Scott Lawton. Those guys are on your fourth fucking line. They make $1 million a year. They come here to play for this team because they love it. They love this city. They love the playoffs. They love the passion. All of it. You weigh $13.25 million. You scored 69 goals last year. You scored 34 fucking goals this season. And you fucked off when it mattered the most. And then you say after an embarrassing Game 7 loss that jerseys are thrown on the ice. We had too many passengers. You were the passenger. You were the passenger. Say that. Say that. Say you sucked. Say you sucked. You know why Leafs Nation does this shit? You know why I go so nuts? You know why people come up and say, fuck this team. I never want to see that guy back here. They don't have any accountability. Mitch is going to go up there. He's going to say, oh, we were close tonight. We were close. Game 7. Fuck you. Fuck that shit. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. That's pathetic. It's bullshit. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of watching these guys together. I've had enough of the lack of accountability. I'm at the end point of these guys, Rosie. I'm sorry for going nuts on this, but it's just like, that is pathetic. Go out there and say you sucked, because you did. You sucked. You sucked dick tonight. You were awful, and it mattered the most, and you fucked off. You had your finger in your hoop looking at Justin Bieber blowing him kisses behind the bench. You needed to fucking figure it out and play hockey here tonight, and you fucked off. And then you go to the post game and you say, we had too many passengers. You were the lead passenger. You were the lead passenger.
I can't think of another leader who would say that after a loss. I really can't. My question is, at any point in the playoffs or the season or anything, in that locker room, and I'm not in there anymore, and I know what can happen in that locker room, and I know what does happen sometimes, and I know what sometimes doesn't, but my question is, have those leaders on that team ever showed that much passion that you just showed on a post-game show on a fucking podcast? Like, have they ever stood up and given that much of themselves in an outburst of emotion? I would put my money on no. I think through the worst losses and the toughest times and the opportunities to show leadership, I would put my money based on what I've seen. Again, it's from the outside. It's not in that room. But from what I've seen, I would doubt that they've ever showed that much passion than you just showed on a post-game show after the fucking loss. And the yelling at everyone else like, oh, I'm intense now on the bench. And then the quotes year after year after year in the media scrums after this devastation where the fans can't even like pull themselves together, and you give these one-liners like it's a fucking Tuesday game in September, October, November. It's just like, how do they not do themselves any favors? Like, everyone can handle a loser if you can root for the guy.
Yeah.
And identify with the guy when some guy's breaking his balls and your team's just not good enough, or you don't have the talent, and these guys are breaking their balls just trying to give anything they can to lead or show any kind of emotion. People can still live with that. But when it's the complete inverse of that, people are going to get pissed off. And I know the Leafs don't like when we do these shows and tear up the team and call out the people personally, but what the fuck do you expect when that's the product you insist on giving us after failure after failure after clearly not having the qualities needed to do the thing? You just continually present it and then get mad when we're furious about it. Like, what do you think?
Look, I'm not trying to be a hero with the rants. I'm not trying to be a guy to get clicks and go on here and be like, hey, I'm so up and so down on this. I am. I yo-yo. I do. You saw it. More than, like, you saw me before the game. It's just like, that shit, like, reading that makes me lose my mind reading it. Because it's like, Rosie, I mean, I watched Nathan McKinnon in his post-game press conferences. They lose, and he's up there like he wants to kill somebody. And he'll be like, I was not good tonight. I didn't do enough. We aren't good enough. I didn't do it. Blah, blah, blah. McDavid won and went to the Western Conference Finals, gets asked a question, and he looks like he wants to rip the reporter's throat out. These guys get asked questions like, we were close.
They look like they're going to say, what's the problem? Like, what's the problem? What's the problem is what it looks like. Entitled group. I want to go to some of the super chats here. We have a ton piling in. Again, like, I'm not trying to be a hero on this. It's just, it's pathetic. It's so pathetic. And like, I feel embarrassed to be watching this, cheering for this. It's pathetic over and over. Super proceeds from our super chat go to Sick Kids Charity. Number 1 in Canada, number 3 in North America Children's Hospital. You want to get your question or your comment read on the show here tonight, send in your super chats. I will read them all. 1,700 viewers on the show tonight. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe here, Leafs Nation 401, right here on YouTube. Let's start at the top. Michael, maximum disappointment. Tree and Keefe did a good job. Fire Shanahan. His mistakes start with hiring Dubas, who wasted 7 years of not building a playoff team. I mean, I keep going back to the Hockey News cover of a magazine, and it had Willie and Austin and Mitch on the front cover, and it just said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when and how many. And you draft these talents that don't come along every day, let's be honest. And you get 3 of them. And you know they're going to hit their prime all at the same time. And then you see it translate to the NHL, and they are very, very good. And it's just like that, to go back to that magazine cover and think of that was the beginning of that era, of that excitement. And I don't think that the powers that be in the organization were capable of giving up on that through so many failures, and it got a moniker beside it. Run it back. Try it again. We can't get rid of one of these guys. Remember what we were going to do? Like, we have cups waiting for us. And I don't know if it's playing in this town is too much, or if collectively together they have too much of one thing and not enough of the other.
Too much of one thing.
You talk about McKinnon and that fucking desire, and you talk about the clutch factor of Draisaitl, and you talk about McDavid just saying, hitch your fucking horses to me. This is not fucking good enough, and I will lead the way. All you have to do is get on board. It's like they're just flying out there without a sail because no one's pulling them in a direction. Yeah. And you see it on the ice when they are just scrambling around like bumbling fucking beer leaguers, and nothing's together. No one takes the reins and says, follow me. And I just truly believe that's the problem.
Yeah. I mean,
you see it in the post game. Nobody says it's got to be me. They can't even fucking say it when
too
it's
many
already
passengers.
Done. We had too many passengers. Who?
It's over.
Was Lawton a passenger? Was OEL a passenger? Was Tanev a passenger? Was Wall a passenger? Was Berube a passenger? Was fucking Lorentz a passenger?
It was you.
You were the passenger.
You, Marner, Nylander, Tavares. You were the passengers. And guess what? You make up, and Morgan Riley, you make up 50% of the salary cap.
Morgan. Like, I fucking watching them like load up a shot to slide it 5-hole on Joseph Woll to score a goal right in the slot, and for some reason Morgan Riley's sliding on his belly across the blue line, and he's a fucking like, I just don't even know how he gets into these positions sometimes. Same thing on Mitch's terrible deal in Game 5, the dagger goal, his backhand no-looker, spinny slip off a check up the middle. Morgan's just going for like a fucking breakaway, and he's a defenseman, and he's -3 or 4. I don't even know what he ended up. And his partner, it's just like, it's like, how is that where your head is and your mind is, and how is that your reaction to a loss? How is that your reaction and your preparation to a Game 7? It just blows up so spectacularly that we're like, how did I get back on board with this team? And then you yo-yo back down to the fucking bottom with, this is the worst thing in the world. But then they'll show you something in Game 6, and you're back. And I guess we're the assholes, but realistically, we're just following what the team does, man. And it's been like that a long time. I was part of a team that didn't do well enough. I'm not the guy that's going to lead a fucking team there. I wish I was. If I had half the talent some of these guys that they have, I would like to think I would put in a bigger effort and have more accountability and at least do something that you, like, at least have some fucking balls to leave it on the line and have no regrets. But it's just more of learning lessons. We're close. Too many passengers. It's just another game. Flush it down the toilet. What's the fucking problem? God, you wonder why people do backflips around here.
And look, the thing is too, Rosie, and I'm sure you, like, I know you don't want to take this compliment, but I'm going to give it to you. You come here, and seriously, how many people here came up to you and said, I watched you play, I loved you play, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, like, the point is, you just laid out what you were able to do for a team. But what you did was show up every night. You competed, you fought, you did everything you could for your team within your capabilities. And people in this city to this day love you and remember you. I know you're scoffing at that. My point is, if they lost tonight and they just gave it everything they had and they came up short, it's like, fuck.
Disappointing, but
I
can live with it.
That sucked. The reason they get shredded like this is not because, you lost again and we're upset. No, it's because that was embarrassing. That's because you didn't give it, and we know you didn't give it. We saw you not give it. We saw you bail out of hits, not carry the puck to the middle of the ice, see a guy coming and do one of these. That's what we watched all night, and that's why people in this city look at them and go, fuck you, get out. Because it's players like that, and they say, oh, you're going to run these skill guys out of town. They have no heart. They have no heart. You had heart. Doug Gilmour, Wendell Clark, that's why these guys are beloved. They have heart. Gary Roberts, heart. These guys are beloved in this city. Even like your boys, Colton Orr, like they're loved in this city because they fucking played with balls. And then it's like you watch that, and that's why people turn on them.
It is the hard part of it. And we're just off of this. It's hard to do this show in this place where people are having a night and thinking about the game, but you wonder, like, if they make certain changes that are going to be difficult and then pull some pieces in to maybe rectify some of the shortcomings they have, Berube and Tree Living and some of the contracts that they have, those pieces that are hard to find, and they're on term, and we have a back end and we have goaltenders, that's something that you got to remember. And it's going to be a hell of an interesting summer and off season and free agency and contract negotiations, and Nyes will probably get signed before July 1. There's lots going on, but I mean, to try to put it back on the rails, there's so many pieces in place, and if you can rectify some of the stuff that makes you come up short and have those kind of fucking performances like the last 2 out of 3 games. Maybe the foundation is there.
I think Tree Living, I think Berube, they did a good job. I think more than ever this put it on an island of what some of the issue was here in this season and in the last 9 years. Michael, the formula of 70% spending on a core who are too similar shows as many times it won't work. Although Walt isn't too bad, we need to have a better one. Yeah, he could have been better here tonight, but he's not the guy I'm going to put the blame on. Joe Dokes, from a Panthers fan, loved Zack, Nick, and Rosie this year. Well, thank you. And again, I'm not trying to diminish what the Panthers did. They were awesome, but this is a Leafs post game. We're not gonna try to not give the Panthers their flowers. They are an amazing team. It's just a matter of what we saw out of this Leafs team. It's fucking pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is on the fact that you're playing the Panthers makes it hard. But they showed through games 1 and 2 and 3 and 6 that you're capable of playing hockey against them and doing good things. It's just that when they come up short and let the Panthers impose their will, the back down is too much to handle. The composure just goes away too easily, and the pushback is fucking weak. And yes, it's the Panthers, and yeah, maybe it was too tall of a task to get by them, but even with the bullshit second half of Game 3,
yeah,
even with Game 4, even with Game 5, you still are capable of hanging in with them to Game 7, so why can't you hang in there a little bit more? And that's what we're going in circles, but it comes back to their response to adversity, the character, the grit, and the balls, and they do not come close to showing enough of it. And yeah, you're up against a big opponent, but it doesn't fucking matter if you're David against Goliath. Go down swinging. And it's like they didn't even bother to do that, to the tune of 2 6-1 losses at home when they were really big ones. You don't come back from that.
Look, this is what's going to be fun about the next couple of days. I'm just going to throw this out there. We'll let some of the stuff come out. There's people tweeting about trades they knew were on the table that were blocked by Shanahan that would involve a number 16. And I'm sure we'll find more about over the next little while, but that'll be fun as it comes up. We do have a lot more super chats to get to here. I do want to rip through these. And again, Rosie, I appreciate you flying out here. Sorry, that was what it was.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time I prepared myself that this is a very realistic outcome, losing.
Losing, yeah.
But then I got on board with fucking maybe, so got excited, and yeah, sure, you get your heart broken Game 7 sometimes, and when you invest as much as we do into this deal, it's disappointing.
Yeah.
But again, we're not even so mad that we lost against the Florida Panthers, as that's a likely reality for possibly every fucking team in this league this year. They very well might go and win back-to-back cups, and in this salary cap era, you're talking dynasty. You go to 3 finals in a row, you're a fucking dynasty, and they very, very likely will do that. So maybe winning the whole thing was not in your probability, but to go down with those 6-1 bombs with the response and the reaction and the facial expressions and the body language and the energy and the effort sometimes.
Blank stares.
It's because they don't know what the fuck to do in adversity, dude. They've never had anything in their life that was really difficult. It's always been red carpets and accolades.
It's pathetic. Super chat here, Nate92. Anybody giving Matthews even the slightest pass is clueless. That soft loser's inability to score after being paid like a 60-goal scorer is the biggest reason they've never won a Game 7 or had any real playoff success. Look, I'm all in on giving Matthews the shit this year after what would just happen. The fact that he's wearing the C, the comments that he just had, they all add to it. They all make it as a million times more worse. I don't have anything more to add than what I've already said about him in the comments, and I know you talked about that as well, but, you know, I'm willing to give it to him here, but it's not just him. It's all of them. And I know the calculator community wants to come running and say, what about the bottom six? How many goals did they score? Fuck off. Because at the end of the day, the core does not get it done. And you want to complain about the bottom six? Well, you know what it's hard to do? Pay a bottom six when all the money's going to the top. Like that's like a stupid simple brain thing to do, but it's like, oh, we pay 4 guys this amount of money. Now we have to fill in the bottom 6. And then you see these wankers that go on and punch and shit on their calculator and they're like, well, the bottom 6 didn't contribute enough. It's like, well, they make $1 million. So what do you think? They're going to be 30 goal scorers at $1 million? You want 6 guys that are diamond in a rough? The big boys needed to perform. It's hard to defend them at this point.
That's the thing. Like, if you like Mitch Marner, you're a fan of what he does, or you like that he's a two-way type of player, like, I get that. It's not so much that Mitch Marner is not worth being on a hockey team and he'll never have success anywhere. It's not that. It's that you have to look at the team as a whole, and who do you have? And it is a salary cap era. And if you are lacking in this department and you need to fulfill these compartments on a hockey team to become a championship caliber team, and Mitch is lacking in that department, then you can't spend $13 or $14 million of your salary cap on more of the same that you're lacking. And they've done, that's called running it back.
Yeah.
And they've already done that. They have exhausted the experiment. The conclusion is in, and you only have one way to go with one option based on all these contracts. And it's Mitch walking out the fucking door. And yeah, it would have been nice to get something for him. And yeah, it would be good to have Rantanen for him. And yeah, it would be good to get a second or a first rounder in some way, shape, or form for him. But you committed to him so much. You committed to Dubas. You committed to going forward with this group. You didn't see the writing on the wall, or you thought they would overcome it. Now you're stuck in this position. There's only one thing to do. You have to put some of the grit and some of the character back into your team. The Sam Bennett's and the Tkachuks and the Marchands and the Ekblads and the Verhagis and those types of guys. And you're not going to have any money to have anybody if you tie it all up in three. Like, everyone's already laughed at us for the last 4 years. How do you have a $50 million like, it just, no one else does that. No one's ever won doing that. So, like, figure it out.
Tried to reinvent the wheel. Unreal. A lot more super chats to get here. Kent Nakamichi, who you got to meet here tonight. Rosie not bringing Tammy. He's got to hang his nuts on Marshy's head.
Thought I saw Tammy for a second, but I got catfished.
Ken says, drink a beer and show you care. 2 for Rosie. Thanks for the super chat, Ken. We'll see. We'll probably do that after the show. Get rid of these Soros. More super chats here to get to. Big Willie Styles, great season. Have a great summer. Let's get weird. Vic, Zack, and Rosie, you guys are amazing. Thanks, Willie. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats. Kane Dynasty.
Makes me feel better hearing these people and having their takes and some laughter and some, and you know, caring about the show and watching and then realizing that it's over. Thanks for the run. Like, that's what pisses me off, is the show getting traction and getting invested in it and thinking about what could be and following this team and people believing and all the doubters coming around. One fucking game and we were just in a new stratosphere that would open up so many opportunities for everyone who cares, and she's all over, and it's all thanks for the season. Put your shit in a garbage bag, plan your flight, see you in fucking October. It kills a guy, man.
Again, Benedill with a very similar super chat to what we read. Don't know which guy to pick on. Thanks for the great season of streams. Always next year, and fuck Morgan Riley.
feel bad for Morgan. He's not like a $12 million guy. He's a $7 million guy, but he's kind of having trouble finding the positions, and it's just tough. You want him to be the all-star and the guy on the poster that he's kind of been in the past, and just a lot of disappointment. I mean, the D is hard to...
I think he got... I'll say this, and we'll leave it at this, unless you have something to add. I think he got very much put in the spotlight because of Berube's style. Simone Benoit, Jake McCabe, Ekman Larson, Chris Tanev, who am I missing? Brandon Carlo. They fit in very well. Morgan Rielly does not. I'm not saying that as an excuse. I'm just saying that it was very clear that those guys served that purpose, and he doesn't fit, and then it got exposed.
There's no reason Morgan Rielly can't play like Oliver Ekman-Larsson. There's no reason. Grabbed his balls. I have trouble believing that, man. I just think it's in his... I think it's upstairs, and it's the pressure and the constant scrutiny. I think it gets to a player, but you can't tell me that Craig Berube has asked him to do something that's so far out of the ordinary for him. He can play like OEL and have success. I look at the forwards who had to make a bigger transition to Craig Berube hockey than the D.
True.
Like, I don't think that's it. It's just hard, man, to have a $7 million all-star to be the odd man out and having Simon Benoit,
I know,
like fucking leaps and bounds more effective than
playing
you.
more minutes than you. We have a super chat from Ryan Covart, social media guy Ryan, who is furious. He was on a plane home from Edmonton. He thought he was going to catch you in Edmonton, and you flew here. He says, he texted me, he sent me the super chat. Joke of an organization, joke of a team, ship the whole roster, keep Nyes, and that's it. Milk bag Riley throwing pizzas, $35 million on your first line to be the 8th best line on the ice. Joke. Go Toronto Scepters or Serpents or whatever.
Pretty sure it's Scepters. Yeah, people are pissed off, man. And as a fan, if you do your thing, you can do what you want to do. And hey, have your day, have your heyday.
Yeah.
It sucks for the players because I don't agree with blow the whole roster up. I don't agree with everyone can go fuck off. Like, it's an overreaction. Again, there's a lot of good pieces on this on term with good things happening. You just got to tweak it to have some more fucking heart and some balls, and you got to have more grit. You got to have less pretty boy shit, and you got to have some dogs, man. It comes down to dogs. They got to go shopping for dogs.
Stat guy Vic. Morgan Rielly in the playoffs this year. 4 goals. Mitch Marner and Austin Matthews combined, 5.
Fair, he was hot. He was hot early on. It's just the consistency. It's the well-roundedness. It's the ability. Like, you can't make your hay in 4 or 5 games out of 12. You know, like, you got to be more consistent. You can't be Jekyll and Hyde. You can't show up one day and do special things in a 4-1 win and then just be the cause of so much mayhem the next night. You have to have more consistency, and I think he battles that a little bit.
2,000 people watching the post-game show right now. If you haven't already, hit that like button.
Did they fucking hear anything?
I hope so. Hit that like button. Subscribe here, Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. Maybe we can get to 20,000 subscribers tonight. Who knows?
Well, tell everyone to mash this fucking subscribe button. It's that easy. It's right there.
Smash the... What is it? What do your boys say? Smash the like.
Smash the like button, I think.
There you go. We do have almost 300 likes. Oh. We got to do smelling salts. Do you want to do them or no?
I'll do everything tonight. Just give me more.
You start with those. I'll keep reading. More super chats that we've got here. Maxentius Decimus, Neckbow, baby, Game 7 choker era. That's kind of what it's going to come down to. John, Maple Leafs walk into a bar. Shirley Temples for everyone.
With extra sugar on the rim. Yum! We needed more Maximus Decimus Meridius tonight out there. Like, be a fucking gladiator. Put your shield on and say, fuck, I've said it a million times, man. Like, just lead with some balls and be a fucking man.
Maxentius.
I want to see that. I want to see some men, some real men out there.
Maxentius also said Gladiator 2 sucked, and so does the Core 4. He said Gladiator 2 sucked, and so does the Core 4.
I heard it, I wasn't going to watch that shit.
I'll do the smoke salts as well.
Woo-wee. I think this show's like gets me to the other side where I can wrap my head around it and just kind of go, Vicky needs some. Like, I already feel better. Everyone's on board. You hear from the chat. You hear from the people that care. People can appreciate where we're coming from.
Yeah.
You give everything. You see the same things. There's reason to believe there's going to be change. Like, I guess I can kind of come around on this quicker than I thought.
Well, it's like Piero Kukic, being a fan for 30 years. Fuck this team. Such a letdown every year.
Well, you want to say fuck this team, but that guy's going to be there in September, man. He just is.
Gear Moose, the Leafs team needs to visit a sick kids hospital and take a real good look at the terminal kids fighting for their lives. They can learn a thing or two.
That's that adversity I talk about, the going through hard times and figuring out who you are and what you're capable of and what it takes and going through things that build that character that you can fall back on and say, I know I can get through this. I know what this fucking takes because I felt difficulty before.
Yeah.
I know what this is. I know what I have to do to get through it. And it's fucking pathetic that you're comparing a hockey player's reaction to a game to people going through real. That's the shortest skirt I've ever seen. How do you leave the house in that? You're not even wearing clothes. I'm glad I don't have daughters. But you compare that shit, and it is similar to the adversity that someone can go through that you can draw on. And I really, truly believe these people don't have anything to draw on. They've never gone through anything hard. You see the look on their face when it gets hard. It's not like they're trying the wrong things or they're just fucking doing nothing. They're stunned. They're like, I have never felt this, and I don't know what to do to get over this obstacle because I've never really even felt one. Everything's done for me. I have always been special. That was a distraction.
The chat saying turn the camera, Vic.
It's like game one all over again.
More super chats. The chat is fighting each other now. 6 1/3 and Ryan are going back and forth, and Ryan sends a super chat that just says 6 1/3 sleeps with his socks on. I mean, let's be nice to each other.
I forget what
Jacket good. Put your phone away while someone's talking, Zach. Shake my head. You're looking. I'm reading the chat.
I'm usually not multifaceted with the chat, but I gotta get it on it.
I'm reading the chat. I'm not on my phone. I'm reading the chat.
Oh, I'm reading the chat. Oh, that's what we're doing, you guys.
That's the chat.
He's checking Instagram during the show. I'm so over this podcast. There's a lot of super chats coming in.
You can leave whenever. I know. I don't want to keep you forever. I got to answer all these. Maxentius Decimus, please get rid of Riley. First goal was all his own.
There's a couple on them, man. Like Carlo was -3, maybe 4 at the end of the day. He was -3 after 3 or 4 goals. Him and Morgan. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, like I feel better with Benoit back there. Sure. Where are the newest ones? Up this way?
Anything I didn't like.
Holy fuck. Holy fuck. If they resign in 91, 60, keep 44, I hope all of this. People gotta understand there's contracts involved, there's no trades, there's terms, there's limits to these things. The only guy really up to just get away from is Mitch Marner. And I think that's gonna be the end of this story.
It's gotta be. I don't even know what this one means. K Sarah, I don't know what that means. Maxentius Decimus. Milan, it was a Shanna scam. Boys, rebuild on the fly. Prep for King McDavid. Core 4, no more. Core 4, no more. I mean, that has to be the end. That has to be
I need a drink after this fucking game.
Iskatsi says this series was lost when both Stolars and Wall took headshots and there was no physical response. A bit of a mean streak and willingness to meet the opponent head on, and when they push you is required to win. I mean, yeah, there was a little bit of lack of pushback, but the biggest thing for me was the lack from the core four. Is it time to move on from Marner and Austin? That comes from Mateo. This is going to be a conversation over the next little while. I say 110% Marner, yes. Do you listen on goals on Austin Matthews this summer? I think you do.
I mean, like, guys, he's not at the high point of his career right now. So are you going to try to sell him low? People are going to say, well, he seems to be injured a lot. They're going to say he hasn't really shown up in clutch time like some of the superstars that get that kind of money. And they're going to say he's never had any success to speak of when it matters. Yes, he's got the trophies and stuff, and that's where the contract comes from. And that's all just for naught, because the Maple Leafs organization, MLSE, isn't going to take their golden child with all those trophies and with that contract that they've given him, and with the captaincy, they take the C very seriously in Toronto.
That's an issue.
They'll go without one until they find the right one. The first thing you learn when you make that team is the history of the team, the leaders, going back to George Armstrong and all of the greats. They don't just give it away. And they're not just going to flippantly say, well, we lost again, so we're going to shop Austin. It's not happening. And he's got too much talent. You don't get rid of a player like that.
Yeah.
The obvious choice is Mitch Marner, and that will affect enough change to take a look at this team again and see what you have next year, as sick as I am to say next year.
Yeah. Producer Vic wants us to take shirts off. He says there's so many views. If there's 1,000 likes on the show tonight, I will.
If they pump us to 20,000 subscribers tonight,
okay, yeah,
I'll take my tarp
deal.
off.
Okay. All right, there you go. Send this to everyone you know. Get people out there. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. 20K tonight. Rosehill go tarps off.
I can just hear my wife. What are you doing?
She's sitting at home watching. She's like, wait a minute.
Nobody wants to see that.
More super chats. Siren the cat. I want to hear Skirt Girl's opinion.
Who?
Skirt Girl.
Yeah, I'm sure she's got a lot to say with that outfit. My God.
Callan Corn, as long as Rosie is on board, I am too. Go Leafs, go. Look, Rosie's here to stay, man. He's here to stay. The Sports Beard, love you, Zack and Rosie. Leafs fans deserved better. Thanks, Beard. Look, I'll just say, again, it's just to reiterate the point. We don't have to go back in on it, but a loss would have been a loss. If they...
Stacky McGee back there.
If they showed up and battled, it's a different story, and they just didn't. There was no pushback. Down one, it was game. And I think that's what Leafs fans deserve better for. Not maybe, well, yeah, result, sure, but not the result, the effort, and the effort was missing. Piro Kukic, Phil Kessel has eaten more dogs than are on this team.
I honestly think that is the problem. There's not enough dog in the leaders here. There's just not enough dogs. Like, go to war, put on your armor, don't fucking stop till the job is done, reinvent your game, adapt to whatever team and style you need to play. It's just not. It's like, I'm willing to play this game of hockey, this style, and if it's not that style, then I'm going to be irrelevant. And there's just no in between.
Yeah.
And that's why you see the game 5s and the game 6s and the game 7s be as different as they can be, because depending on the moment, they're either there if it's their idea of a hockey game, and if it's not, there's no adapting taking place. There's nothing. They're not chameleons. They're not warriors. They aren't able to commit to any style of hockey that's presented. If it's not their style of hockey, it's bye-bye. And it's been that way for years.
There's a lot of super chats.
You might not be able to get to them.
I know, this is fucked. They're pouring in here. Again, thank you for all the super chats. Proceeds from your super chats go to Sick Kids Charity. So thank you guys for sending those in. Keep sending them in. I'll read as many. I'll read all of them, even if Rosie has to go. Banana Cowbone, trade 1634.91 for Crosby, McDavid, McKinnon. Well, that's a lofty goal. Mike Fammy, the best news of this is we don't ever have to watch this group of players anymore. Change is coming. I think we can all agree on that. Maxentius Decimus, I came in with no expectations, and I'm okay right now.
I wish I stayed there. I
know.
I was there for 6, and I was there for this morning, and then I got here and I fucking Ubered to our viewing party at Greta, and I saw the buzz again that I felt driving to the games when I was playing here. And I saw the jerseys and the people and the lineups, and I saw two buddies grabbing each other like this, like we're about to watch 7.
You and I were grabbing each other like that when Domi scored. You and I were like forehead to forehead.
And you get caught up in it, and it makes it harder. But like fucking, it's weird. I've never been a fan of a team ever. I've never been a fan of a team. Not even the Flames growing up. They were like, I didn't watch them. I didn't know if they were good this year. I didn't watch. I just like to play hockey. I liked hockey. I've never been a fan of a team, so this is new for me, riding and dying with no ability to affect any amount of change, without any semblance of like connection to the team. I just watch, and it's infuriating to ride the highs and lows with this team, and I get what people have been going through now.
David Alter tweets out, Tavares was asked if he feels the core deserves another chance. I know you guys will have your opinions. Obviously, management will make their decisions, but obviously a very good team that's done a lot of good things, just haven't broken through. Never going to quit, never going to stop trying, so I'd love another opportunity. Look, I don't know what else he's gonna.
That's fine with me. You're gonna ride with your teammates all day.
There's nothing else he's gonna say about that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's
He's
no
not
problem.
Stupid.
No,
it's a response you expect.
I was half waiting for. We learned a lot of. We learned a lot of lessons.
We're close.
If he said that,
you know what's crazy is they are they're actually very close.
Yeah, they're like a star player away. Fuck.
They're like, does Johnny stick around? It's $20 million in cap space if you lose Johnny and Marner. I'm not saying you can replace them. I'm not saying you're going to the players available or
replace them in the
I'm not
aggregate.
saying you could even get them to come here. But $20 million to affect a little bit of change with what you have going on in this team already is pretty goddamn interesting, although I do love John Tavares. I think he popped off so hard at the end of the year. He got himself to looking at 40 goal scorers, and you got to give him 8 or 9. I mean, that's Sam Bennett money. It's crazy.
I know. I know. That's the issue. Such a good season that it's like, we'll see. I don't have any problem with what he said, to be honest. I don't. No. But I read it in real time, waiting for like lessons or close.
You're going to say something dumb.
And then I was going to just fucking, you were going to close the show.
Johnny's smarter than that in the media.
Chad Doyle, I knew we were going to lose when I saw that freak show tweaking behind the bench. Thanks, Beebs.
Fair point. I was thinking, like, he's got to, how do you justify that?
He's going, yes.
Like, I get you're an artist,
but fuck. Dial it in.
It's kind of what bugs me is that generation, like, who wears that
AM34s.
Wears glasses, tweaking out like you're fucking on the goddamn corner of Queen Street, doing the fentanyl fucking tweak, and you're gonna go sit behind the, like, how did you even get to that seat without getting mobbed by people? And that's these guys' idol. Like,
I know.
Yeah, it's just all kinds of ugly.
I know.
Don't bring me back to that shit.
I won't. Sorry. Rosie is here on the Ninja Crispy Hotline. It is time now for the Ninja Crispy Hotline, presented by the Ninja Crispy 4-in-1 Portable Glass Air Fryer.
Meet the first of its kind. The Ninja Crispy Portable Cooking System. The power of a full-sized air fryer in the palm of your hand. So you can cook big or small batches. Just prep it,
It's an all-in-one.
crisp it, serve it, and store it all in one.
It's an all-in-one system that includes 4-quart, 6-cup Tupperware glass containers and 2 storage lids. The Ninja Crispy is thermal shock resistant, can go from frozen to crispy in minutes. With the Crispy Power Pod, you get the power of a full-size air fryer in the palm of your hands. The 4-quart container fits 4 pounds of chicken or veggies. Cook a personal-sized meal in 7 minutes in the 6-cup container. Max crisp, bake, air fry, and re-crisp with the Ninja Crispy. You can prep, cook, and store anything from crispy favorites to one-dish meals. Visit their website in the link in the description and stay tuned for a chance to win a free Ninja Crispy for one of our lucky fans.
The chat is hot right now.
Chat is hot, yeah. I mean,
I wish we could like
the comments.
people's stuff so that we could say, I heard ya, I like that one, I see ya, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Everyone in the chat, we see you, we appreciate you. We don't have really a way to respond. It's moving so fast. That's a good thing. Everyone's invested.
It is.
We love bringing it to you. Thanks for all the kind words so far this season. Realize that it's not done. We have to go into this in detail, break down the comments, break down everything, start to talk about the offseason, the contracts. We go all season long, so tune in, guys. It's not a great place to be, but we're going to do it regardless.
Brad Tonchich brings up the Austin Matthews comments. Said Mitch Marner later agreed at that. I mean, look, that just speaks to everything Rosie and I have here tonight about our thoughts about the accountability and everything. Boomer21, the Leafs Nation, still never got over the high sticking call against Gretzky that never was in Game 7 in '93. Toronto and Montreal would have been glorious.
Killer was leaking, was he not?
Yeah.
The high stick that never was.
Jeff McKay, this team has no balls, they have no heart, who don't give a damn about the team or the city. They just want the money. I want these players gone. Screw your efforts and your money. So, one thing I will say, I mean, I saw Sens, look quickly, I saw Sens fans in this chat talking shit before. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You have to drive 45 minutes to your fucking arena. It's in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. And you won 2 games in the first round 4 years after your rebuild was over. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, on with the point. Brady Tkachuk finishes the game. Game 6, they lose. He's devastated. I wanted to win so bad for this city. This city deserved it. I love this city. I wanted to win for these fans. Austin Matthews after Game 7. Too many passengers.
Yeah, they don't give much love back to the fans or the support. I mean, we're part of the reason why. A lot of people care about this team. A lot of people listen to what goes on around it. There's a lot of numbers when you talk about eyeballs following this team, reacting to this team. And when they're doing what they're doing for the last 60 years, it's hard to be positive about everything. It's hard not to point at what you think is wrong and point at the deficiencies and point at the players you don't think is giving it their all. And when they feel that, they get their back up and they think, well, fuck you. I guess we'll just isolate in this room, block out all the noise from the outside, and realize that what's up, dude?
It's a live show.
Maple Leafs. What do you think of the game tonight? Are you disappointed in the Game 7 loss to the Maple Leafs?
Disappointed. I went to drink and we lost.
Shit. You come here to blow off a little steam to Greta YYC?
I was pissed. Trust me. What was it? 6-1?
Yeah.
Trash.
No good, my man. Well, thanks for popping in, brother. We appreciate you. Thanks for listening. Smash that like button.
Like, what is this, Twitch?
YouTube.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
Twitch.
You guys are gonna blow. I fuck with your energy.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Enjoy
it.
your night.
There you go.
Just reek like the the new.
That guy took a bath in cologne.
I thought he took a bath in a weed store. Good guy, though.
That guy, good guy. He smelled like a high school gym from a kid who just smoked a bunch of pot at lunch.
Guy's getting it on a weekend, on a long weekend Sunday. Yeah, I was talking about those guys isolating themselves. I get why they don't. I mean, it's not going to be Brady Tkachuk thanking the dickhead fans in Ottawa because they all get horny. This is such a monstrosity of a machine. This Leafs Nation, they get gobbled up by it. You can argue that it's their own fault.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding my breath for any thank you fans, thank you city for this one. It's unfortunate. Maybe when they have some success and we can start rolling some positivity, they'll start to open themselves up.
I'll read this one and then I'll let you go after this one if you want to. I'm gonna at least bang through these. There's so many. Vic, how much money have we donated? $400 in super chats tonight. Proceeds going to sick kids. Like, it's a good cause. I gotta read them. If you gotta go, I understand, but I want to read this one.
All right.
Nate92 says, love the anger. Wish a reporter would have the balls to call them out to their face. This show is way more entertaining than the game. Hope Marner stays in the division.
Well, he was almost on Carolina. We would have had Rantanen. Enough to get over the hump. Games, okay, maybe. And then face Mitchie in the Eastern Conference Finals. And see if he can have, like, you think he's going to have a big F you Leafs moment and puts the team on his back and gets 2-1 in the deciding game. Like, have trouble picturing that.
I know.
I wish we had a chance to see.
Vicus Patronus, other teams find new ways to win. The Leafs always find new ways to lose. I would disagree with that. I feel like they find the same way to lose every time. Done and dusted. The piss poor four and Scamahan gotta go. I think that's one thing, Rosie, is that Leafs fans will never quit. They're going to turn the TV on. They're going to go to the games. They're going to buy the jerseys. They're going to read. They're going to watch the shows. The difference between Leafs fans and a lot of other fans that I think it's going to be interesting to watch Keith Belly navigate this summer is that Leafs fans have the ability to turn on you. They'll watch every game, but they'll fucking hate your guts. And what is the balance of keeping the fans and a level of toxicity? That's going to be interesting because I think people believed in Berube, Tree Living, the bottom six, the defense, the goaltending, all of it. And then we look at Marner, Matthews, specifically JT, Nylander, and go, it's them again.
I mean, the things that people believed in more than ever the last decade and a half is those pieces that are still going to be there. So people are going to recover from this loss and that performance, and they're going to watch what happens with the team and the changes that are invoked, and they're going to analyze and process, and they're going to be right back on the fucking bandwagon, myself included, in the fall. And I think there's enough pieces in place. I really think there's enough pieces in place. You need to get some winners on the team, some character players, some grittier skill players that show up in big games and have a history of doing that and aren't scared of the lights and are willing to come here and, like, yeah, the taxes are more and yeah, there's more pressure. But like Brian Burke said, my first day on the team, to the whole team, he talked about, if you motherfuckers, and it didn't happen obviously, but if we can find a way to guide this team to a Stanley Cup, it'll change every one of your lives forever.
Yeah.
You'll never buy a meal. You'll never buy a drink. You'll set up shop here because you will be a legend forever. That's how much people care about this team. And it's true, and it's why everyone who's pissed is going to be watching again in the fall. But maybe someone who, with that grit and that tenacity and that ability to show up in the playoffs, will show up to here, to this town and this city and this organization and say, I want to be the guy that fucking does just that.
Drunk Vigo is going at me in the chat. says your sleeve tattoo doesn't cover up your little wrist, bro.
And you're acknowledging that guy right now.
That's funny. I need some humor here.
I never thought you had little wrists, my brother. Pretty regular sized wrist, brother.
I have segments, play of the game and the grade of the game. Vic, let's do play of the game. Do you have a play of the game? Final buzzer? Beers on the ice?
I mean, like
Domi's
goal, I guess, but it was that segment at the end of after the very beginning of the first period. I don't know if it was the 15-minute mark and on, right into the buzzer, where it was unbelievable how much pressure the Leafs were putting on the Cats. They were in their zone permanently. The chances were out the ass. They did everything but bury. I mean, Willie breakaway, Lawton breakaway, Lorentz breakaway, Willie on the side door with just needed to elevate it upstairs and just for whatever reason couldn't. It was all of that where we looked at each other and went, after a subpar start, they didn't start on time, they regained their bearings and they put on a fucking clinic for about 12 to 15 minutes there that made me think like, this could be 3-1, this could be 3-0, this could be 2-0. And they didn't get that one, and then you get into the second period, and it was fucking over in 10 minutes. Shocking, but that to me is you're up against the champs right there.
That's an infuriating part about this one. 3-0, 3-1 Domi goal, 3-1 Domi goal, and they just didn't have it in them to keep going. Florida answers. The Leafs just don't have any pushback.
They tried a little bit, right?
Some did.
Not really.
They tried.
A little bit.
They tried a little bit. You're right. They tried a little bit. You've got it covered. You guys get it. They tried a little bit. They did try a little bit.
A little bit.
Shit. Were you doing a segment?
No, I was just saying it's pathetic that Domi scores. It's 3-1, 18 minutes left. You're down by 2, and it was like, we got one.
Just right back 4-1.
This place was going nuts. My buddies were in here screaming like, it's not over, it's not over.
How do you not score on one of those chances?
Dude, Vic's fucking buddy threw a chair.
I like that. I love that. Chucking shit when you're mad.
3-1, 4-1, chair. Boom!
I don't mind that at all. I like getting it out early so you can move on.
I'll let you get out of here. I'm going to power through these.
All right, brother.
I'll let you get out of here on this.
Thanks to the chat. Thanks to the viewers. Thanks to everyone in Leafs Nation. Subscribe to the show. We're bringing it to you all the time. We're all disappointed, but if you follow this team, if you care about it, if you like seeing what the hell's going on and hearing people break it down, that's what we're going to be doing all throughout the offseason now that it's over. But there's lots more to come. So thanks for this. We love the enthusiasm of you guys. We love bringing it to you. We're disappointed as hell, but there's more shit to talk about. So tune in. We love it. Thank you.
Tomorrow. Jason?
As always, next year.
As always.
Let me shake your hand like the performance tonight.
At least there is respect in the handshake line.
That's what it's all about.
Rosie will hop out of here. I'm going to close this with these super chats. I'll bang through them quickly, Vic. We'll get out of here. Super chats for tonight as well. I'll do smelling salts one more time. Rosie's going to go grab some beers. What did you think about the game?
Honestly, fuck the Leafs. I love Benoit. Benny, fuck. Willie, shut. Too much. Fuck William Nylander. Fuck William Nylander. Matthew showed a bit of heart. Marner, see you later. Who else? Oh my God. No.
Oh, God. All right.
I thought you were dramatic.
More super chats here to keep getting to. We do have over $400 in super chats donated to the show here tonight.
Sick kids. I love sick kids.
Smelling salts. Nate92, Berube low-key did a terrible job in the 2 biggest games of the season. He's got nothing at all out of this roster. I don't think it's Berube, man. I think, again, it's just the fact that this team just doesn't have it and this core doesn't have it. Michael, the core 4 is like putting a dish of chocolate cake, chocolate ice cream, chocolate yogurt, and chocolate sherbet. Each tastes good, but not together. I'll be honest, I'm a big chocolate guy, so maybe that would do it for me. I just got a DM. The smelling salts. Yeah, the smelling salts. Everybody thinks that the smelling salts aren't that great, but whoa. Phil Demons, what did you think of Marner's shifts, stops, and starts? I think I've answered that here tonight, Phil. Robert Bet, let's add insult to injury. We lost a first-round pick to Florida in the Marchand trade. Lost a first-round pick to Florida. I don't know how that works. How'd they lose a first-round pick to Florida? Boston gained a first-round pick. Yeah. Fuck Florida's right. But they fucked us. Quoted from the girl watching stream here. Maxentius Desmus, trade Bieber for Taylor Swift. She has more balls. Well, not going to judge. Dominic DeCellis just sends a super chat, nothing attached. Michael, in the past, Gilmore and Sundin years were disappointed when they lost. However, this team is embarrassing, like a dummy to support this laughing stock. I feel you, Michael. Mike Fammy, Captain Cuck is what 34 is. Blowing kisses to JB there. Tough look. KPG, thanks to Rosie, Nick, Vic, and Zack for a great season. You guys rock while the Leafs blow donkey schlongs. KPG, I don't blame you. I understand the frustrations. I appreciate the support. John, so Rosie just told us he's never had a need of therapy. Maybe that has changed now. Maybe. Dominic, again with another super chat here. Thank you, Dominic. John, Wayne Gretzky, the only NHL player to score a series winner with a ref between his legs. Wow. I got to read them. They're coming in. I got to read them. KPG, is that Bieber? I'll leave it. Rich Critlin, thank you for the super chat. Michael, Zach, how many 100% untouchable for me? Only 3 players. Number 2, number 8, and number 23. This show has me weak. There are 91, too old, no points in 4 games, 88 and 16. Useless in Game 7. I mean, I think Nylander, Nyes, untouchables. The smelling salts for Vic here. He's just trying to give himself torture. Rich Cridlin, 92 and 93, would have won this game. Probably. Sports Spirit had to do another super chat. Had to do another super chat, especially after Rosie said you need some gritty, skilled players. I was like, Hyman and Kadri. Fuck! Thanks for the super chat, Beard. He says, also at one point, do Leafs fans realize they're in an abusive relationship? No. They realize, they know, they just love it. That's the problem. We love it. We're here to stay. Ken Nakamichi, it's over. Hang up the phone. Kent is still here, zipping around. Thank you, Kent. Maxentius Decimus, play of the game, those drunk NPCs. That is it. I caught up on the super chats. More likes, 486 likes. I'll do the smelling salts. Again, thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed, supported the channel all season. Still 1,500 people watching right now. I got 2 more things to do, and we'll wrap this show up here tonight. Before we do, quickly, more smelling salts. Vic's rapping. The song that's on, Vic is rapping right now. Let's get to our best bet of the show here tonight. You want to get in on the action for Stanley Cup playoffs? At Bet365, they've got you. From game props, player props, totals, and the money line, you can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, Stanley Cup champions, and much, much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. An official partner in the Stanley Cup playoffs. You must be 19 or older. Please play responsibly. Please play responsibly. Ontario only. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Best bets tonight. Vic, we'll keep it short. Best bets tonight. William Nylander, anytime goal. Lost $50. John Tavares, anytime goal. Lost $50. Lost 100. Lost a unit. Boys, I was up $1,000 on the season. 1,031. I lost 100 tonight. I finished up $931 on the season tonight. Lost both best bets. It's unfortunate, but those are our best bets. Thank you to our sponsors, Bet365, for sticking with us all season long. 0 for 2 on the night. Tough way to go out in the show. Let's get to our grade of the game. Grade of the game. Final segment, and we close out the After Dark show of the season. Grade of the game is simple. It's a fail. It's a colossal fail. Ken, put those down and come in here. Yo, put those down and come in here. You can't put them on camera. Not there, not there. But just put them somewhere. But come in here. I'm going to get Kent in here. He buzzes in the chat. I just want to get his opinion on the final thing before we wrap this up. Grade of the game. Ken, again, Ken's been one of my best friends for a long time. What's your grade of the game here tonight?
This thing on?
It's on, it's on. What's your grade of the game?
I'd give it about what are we rating at, 10? Give it a 1. It's a 1 out of 10. No win is it's a 1 out of 10. See, the thing is when it comes down to it, you gotta win games. You gotta win games. When Lawton is your best player on the ice, you get a 1. When Tammy doesn't show up for the game, you get a 1. We're looking for wins. We're looking for wins for everyone.
That's fair.
It sucks.
You showed more heart at your tournament this weekend with that bruiser on your nose.
This right here, we got 2 fights, stick in the face. We're grinding, we're trying to win games. There's no heart. There's no jam. There's no jam. You gotta grind, you gotta take shit. And you know what? Sore losers, I know you're professionals and I know you gotta win games. But for me as a fan, when you're losing, you're down 4, you know it's over.
Fight.
We need some jam. Fight someone. Show you care. Just show a little bit of passion. There's none of that. And I know you're professionals. I know it's your life. But it's like, show something for the fans. We care about you. We love you. Let's hang the phone up. We're done with this. Goodbye.
Chat, by the way, says it sounds like you've been smoking darts since 7 a.m.
Hey, chat, what I do at 7 a.m. is none of your business.
All right, get out of here. Thanks, Ken. All right. Look, honestly, this is final thing for me. This is an F. There's no other way around it. It's flat out, it's an F. It's an F on the show. It's an F on the game. You didn't just lose. You lost in a pathetic, embarrassing effort. You know, you people talk about how in this city it's hard. You know, you go outside, everybody knows who you are. I'll be honest, it's harsh. You should be embarrassed to show your face in the street after a performance like that. It's not just the fact that you lost. It's not just the fact that you blew it in a Game 7. It's the fact that you didn't show up when it mattered the most. This is a pathetic effort from this group and this city, this fan base, this organization. Everybody deserved more. This is not good enough. It's a failure from top to bottom. Final super chat. We lost the first round to Florida because he traded a first round to Boston for Carlos, so Florida gets it for Marchand. I don't think that's how it works, but sure. Anyways, that's it for me on the Leaf Station post-game show and the Leaf Station After Dark. What? Do we get it? Okay. What do you want me to do, Vic? Yeah, I know. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subscribing, following along all season. You want to catch me? I'll be with the boys Leafs Morning Take throughout the rest of the season at different points. I'll be on the sheet with Jeff Merrick, Daily Face-Off, Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Thanks for watching, following. Whether you love me or hate me, you watched. Thank you all for the support this season on the Leaf Station After Dark and the Leaf Station 401 YouTube channel. There is no more belief. That's it. I tried. The light in the belief candle, spat on, pissed on, all of it. It's over. We'll be back to break things down this summer. Rosie, Nick Alberga, Leafs Morning Take tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all for watching. Thanks for all the support this year. It's been fun. Until I see you next, enjoy your nights. I don't know.
For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take, Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos. Make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and drop a like.